Hey, this is Pete, and I'm here to talk to you about what I think is the number one problem that I see with many guitar players who come to me for lessons. And that's something I call hook thumb. The idea of placing your thumb on top of the neck of the guitar and holding it there as kind of like a brace. Now, before I go any farther with this, I just want to tell you I don't believe there's any one specific position that you have to hold your thumb in all the time. My thumb is very mobile. Sometimes it's up here, sometimes it's back here. Depends on what you're playing and what you're doing. But there's a lot of folks who come to me, they've been playing guitar, novice hobby guitar player for 20, 30 years, and they're playing, C chord, G chord, E chord, and that thumb's just poking out over there and, sometimes just hanging there. But inevitably, people come to me and they go, well, I'm not getting any better. I'm not making any progress. And one of the things I think, which is a problem for a lot of people, is this habit of hooking your thumb here. What's happening is your thumb, by hooking onto like that, kind of impedes what your fingers can do out front of the guitar. So let me explain. Say I take a G minor pentatonic scale. Almost impossible for me to play accurately and go with my thumb over the top like that. But if I put my thumb behind the neck, so back there, where it can actually support what I'm doing, and even rotate down as I go up to those low notes, then I can reach, especially with my pinky, I can reach those low notes much easier. But if my thumb's up here, very hard. But even when it comes to things like finger picking and playing chords, if your thumb's up here, you'll notice that your fingers might have a tendency to roll over other strings and mute those strings when you don't want them to. Whereas if your thumb comes back behind the neck, your fingers roll out away from the strings, and your note should sound much cleaner. Might notice like sometimes my thumb does come up over the top. And specifically for when I play chords like an F chord, I am fretting that sixth string with my thumb. The idea is the thumb is not static, but if it's just up here hanging out, it's not supporting. It's not doing what you want it to do. You want it to be back behind that neck. And if you think of grasping the neck with these two fingers and pinching, that's going to be probably one of the better positions for you. There's all sorts of things that I notice with people's thumbs. In acoustic blues, we often play what we call long A chord. And I'll note, if you look at my thumb, you'll notice it's back behind the neck and it's horizontal to the neck. It's not perpendicular up and down. If it's up and down, you notice what happens to my first finger is it tends to be angled along the fret, and I don't get a very good sound. But if I try to keep that first finger as straight as I can, right on top of that fret, then I'll get a cleaner, better sound. And part of that is also just having that thumb in the back, supporting what's going on out front, and in that case, a little more horizontal. What can you do? Well, there's a couple things you could do. Many years ago, I took guitar lessons from a guy named Joe Satriani. Now, not to drop names, but maybe that lends some credibility to me if I say I studied with Joe Satriani. And basically, these are more like picking exercise, not finger picking things, which is the kind of thing I do these days, right? A couple things he showed me as exercises that I think might help your thumb. So the first off is it's a picking exercise, but I can also adapt it, or we can adapt it to finger picking. I'll start off with I'm holding my thumb pick like a flat pick. And I just play one note at a time, one fret at a time. First fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret. Then I move to the next string. And I think there's multiple benefits to this exercise. One, in order to play those notes cleanly, your thumb does have to be behind the neck. It's really hard to reach 4 frets up with your pinky on the 6th string if your thumb's up here. So. Not necessarily a speed exercise, but an articulation exercise. Notice the quality of the notes as you play. You want to keep the same dynamic, the same volume, the same amount of sustain over each note as you play. I also think this is a great exercise because whether you're playing electric flat picking stuff or fingerstyle stuff, when you start playing musical phrases, you'll find that they often operate within a 4-fret span. So you dedicate one finger per fret, i.e. index on the first fret, middle on the 2nd fret, ring on the 3rd fret, pinky on the 4th fret. You'll find that if you think about like musical passages or phrases and things that you play, if you stick with having those fingers over 1 fret each, they'll fall under your fingers much easier. Now you don't have to just stop after playing these 4 frets. You can move up. So let's say now I move up 1 fret. And keep going. And so on and so forth. You can keep going. Probably don't want to go past the 12th fret. Once your pinky reaches the 12th fret, that's plenty. Something you might want to spend like 3 to 5 minutes of in your practice. Just doing something like that. And that'll get you in the habit of keeping your thumb back here. It's really hard if you've been playing like this for a long time and you play songs that you know, you're just used to that thumb hooked over. But so that's why you need some new things to do to sort of start establishing a good habit with new stuff. Another exercise that Joe used to have me do was something called the diagonal chord relay. These really awful sounding chords, but what they are is I'm just putting 1 finger per fret and 1 per string. So I'll start on the 5th string at the 1st fret, 4th string at the 2nd fret, 3rd string at the 3rd fret, and pinky on the 2nd string, 4th fret. And I just strum those 4 strings. Or if I'm finger picking, I can grab my thumb and index, middle, and ring, and grab 4 strings like that. Then I reverse and bring my first finger down to the 2nd string, middle finger down to the 3rd string, ring 4th, and pinky to the 5th. Then I go up 1 fret. This is a good exercise to coordinate your fingers together, but it can't really be done very well if your thumb is up here. It has to be back behind the neck. So there's a couple ideas. If you know that you're one of these people who does this hook thumb thing, and you can just watch yourself play something that you're familiar with, and notice, is that what I'm doing? And after that, you say, well, does everything sound clean and good? Like when we finger pick, All the strings have to sound cleanly. If we've just been strumming all our lives, we can get away with a certain amount of mush, sloppiness, as it were. Not every string has to ring perfectly, but finger picking will show all your warts, you know. So, but watch yourself play something that you're familiar with and notice what your thumb is doing. Like I say, sometimes this thumb over the top is fine, but other times the thumb really needs to come back behind the neck in order to make the note sound cleanly. So check out that thumb position. Subscribe to this channel and give me any feedback you think about. What are some other problems you have that are impeding your progress as a guitar player? Okay, thanks.